Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachah, Kodash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I'd like to say Shalom to the elect that teach the word in all truth, faith, and sincerity. And today I just want to take this lesson. This is temporary. This state, this captivity, being under the watch of the so-called white man, bills, the LGBTQ, Christmas, all this shit. It's only temporary. The Lord is about to uproot all this, and we in that time. Well, we in that uprooting process. With Jake being simple, can't see it. His devil had a run. Matter of fact, let's start off with this in the book of Psalm 73. Because niggas in there can't beat them, join them, spirit. That's why you're hearing Jake more and more about, talking more and more about generational wealth. They're making their bed here in America. Like this, the end all be all. You want to always pay bills. You got to always go to college. You got to get you a career or a food truck or be a rapper or a basketball, football player. You want to skip the line, go become a scammer. This is a sick place, man. Especially for Jake, because those are the only boxes they can check off, so to speak. This Psalm 73 verse 3, it reads, "For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked," and pretty much who was all in that state, being envious at the foolish. And how is that on display? By following his ways, going to college, doing these certain things that he said, dude, that's going to cause you to prosper. Because this devil is the standard of what's living. He give you the standard of what's really it is to live. Or you got you a late model car, a big house, But it was steps to that. You got to go to college first. See, can you get drafted and go to the NBA, or nigga writing rhymes all day. But that's really the ceiling for our people, man. It says, "For there are no bands in their depth, but their strength is firm," and that's what's being presented. Those have things on lock, so that's why Jake was in that spirit, trying to make it here. But just going to the lesson, this is temporary. Voting, just all this shit finna go, man. We'll jump down to verse 73. I started verse 15. It says, verse 16. It says, "When I thought to know this, it was too painful for me until I went into the sanctuary of the Most High. Then understood I therein." See, how about Shemel Shai, giving us this truth, this understanding. Fashioning our heart in such a way to receive this. We know that we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. By seeing things through the spirit of prophecy, which is the testimony of Yahweh Shai. There is an end. It's an end to this, man. We really in the same time. It's really in a joyful time. This man, his reign of terror is over. We can go back to the saying of having a breath of fresh air. It can go back to being a literal saying again, man. Just something as subtle as that. Righteousness is going to flourish. not going to be a such thing, like I said, of an alarm clock. This is the book of Proverbs 23, verse 17. It reads, "Let not thine heart envy sinners." See, we just read that, being envious of the wicked because of his prosperity, man. And this is a commandment. This is, "But be thou in the fear of the Lord all the day long." See? And that's what we have done in this time. Talks about how we shall no longer stay upon them that trust them. That smote them. But we're going to trust in Yahweh Shai, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. So this is a commandment to put off the ways of Esau, because that's what we have done. Cast away as a minister's cloth and held fast to Yahweh Shai. It says, "For surely there is an end." See, there's an end to the sinners. Esau and his run. It's an end to this. "And thine expectation shall not be cut off." And ultimately, that goes hand in hand with it. Part of our expectation is for him to be cut off, for him to have an end. So the kingdom could be established. And where we at in this process, we seeing the Lord is about to really wrap things up. Jacob's trouble is not. Now these plagues we seeing on the earth is really an effort to uproot this devil. Because when that destruction comes, World War III, he's not going to be able to pick up the pieces, man. This is what's going to cement his downfall. And we are in the season of it, man. So matter of fact, let's get this in the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 4 in verse 17. It reads, "For our light affliction, which is but for a moment." See, we in captivity, and is now more of a mental. It's not as a physical thing now, more mental. Of course, this devil got, let's say, you might have a financial strain or whatever the case may be. But it's not as that hardcore slavery. We're not being resistant unto blood. But it says this is for a moment, man. Because that's what Esau got. He only got a moment. It says, "Working for us are far more exceeding and eternal way to glory." See, because this is the worst captivity ever. But it's just not going to compare to the kingdom, man. Talk about the day of prosperity. It's a forgetfulness of poverty. It says, "While we look not at the things which are seen, but the things which are not seen." And what's the things that are seen? It's the things that are here. This is part of the serpent's doctrine. The things that's pleasing to the eyes. The lights, the cars, the money, clothes, the hoes, the saying. Things that will lure you in here. We looking at the kingdom, man. It says, "For the things which are seen are temporal." See? Because at the end of the day, even though this devil had the longest run, still an end to it. The legs, even though the legs is the longest part of the body, it don't go on forever. It's an end to it. A nigga could be 6'7". That's it. There's a cutoff point. Same thing with Esau. His influence has went hundreds of years. This nigga, actually, really thousands. You add it all up. Said he was pretty much the bottom half of the statue. And at the end of the day, it's the end to it. He might perceive that this is it, just because of the length of time he been in power. No, it. Matter of fact, before I go back to it, let's get this real quick in the book of Revelation. Revelation 20 in verse. Bear with me. That's it. Revelation 23 reads, and cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more. And this concerning Esau, when he fell out of power, he was bound. The Lord bound him. He couldn't prosper, but it was a certain time where he was set to be loose. It says, and after that he must be loosed a little season. See? So that's why it wasn't no coincidence the technology spiked. You had these different industrial revolutions. Because this devil will try to throw that in as a as a form of him glorifying himself. How this technology spiked so in these less amount of years because of this little season that you got, man. And we at the end of it now, man. So going back to 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 18, it said, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. So this place is a temporal thing. Look, it's a thing called trends. 15 minutes of fame. All these different sayings to show you that it's not established. It's not rooted. And that's really this place. It's not rooted. It's not deeply rooted. It's not firmly established. Because ultimately it was set up to be moved out the way anyway. Talks about how the evil that was planted ultimately got to be rooted up, man. So it wasn't planted just to be there. No, it was set up to fill this role. Once it flourished into the profession, it was going to be moved out the way. So the forever can come eternity, which is the kingdom. See, we're really going into the beginning by the way of the end of Esau. But say it all to just say this is a temporary thing. We at the end. This is not the end all be all. Being in this man's system. Esau is not going to be in power forever, man. The scripture, the decree says so. So yeah, I just hope to edify. I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect, teaching the word in all true faith and sincerity. Shalom.